So here it is. Welcome again, and we'll start my first whip that I worked in December, and you probably already can recognize Lady of the Flag. And this is a special fabric I got from Cindy Shirley. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your last name. So I can't insert what I've done before because all my pictures pretty much and software are on a computer, but you can kind of see what I've done. It's noisy too. So it's going down skirt, and flag is almost all done. You can see all rolled up in here. I love stitching on this. I think it's 28 count fabric, and it's very easy on the ice. So when I do like 40 count or 32 count over one, this is just a breeze to work on. So I worked at the first part in beginning of December. Then another whip, I did just a tiny bit because I moved on a different thing, and it's the Linen Threads Mystery. So this is what I have. I got this little itty bitty mini frame, and it's very tight when I want it to, and I just keep it in my car so I can have a little hand and stitch. So I'm working right now on the May part. So this is what I've done so far, and I'm using 2 plain color threads and 1 color you can see like in those things. It's by DMC variegated floss. So I'm just kind of moving, and this is what I have so far, and I'm doing that over one. That's how it works. So yeah, so very little done, but still good practice. Any one stitch is a great stitch, right? Then I worked on this piece that I had in a Russian magazine, and I actually found that it was in 2006 August cross stitch collection, and it was called the Summer Ball. Of course, the colors are not exactly what it's gonna be, so to compare, you can see what I've done. So this is what I printed, and this is what it is, how much I've done. So about this much without the girl. So it's top to bottom, and at first I thought that's kind of weird, you know, like a big blotches of color when you look up close. I'm doing that over 2, otherwise it will be way too small. And I'm doing back stitching while I'm doing regular cross stitch, so I would be done with this portion and then move to the next without coming back to here. And I keep looking at this candelabra, and I keep thinking, that's a spooky dude, you know, like a ghost standing here with little horns or something. You know, it's once you see it, you cannot unsee it, right? Yeah, so this is how much I've done. So that's the very bottom of the work. Yes, I think it's going so far. I love stitching. I'm doing all the skin over one, and actually, I don't know if you can tell the guys, I'm doing 10 stitch. Yep, and I think it looks good, pretty good once you put in all the back stitching. Before it was just like a blob of some color in black. So yeah, the Summer Ball. I love stitching in this, and actually participating in 2018 Jane Austen Read and Stitch, I believe, on the Facebook, and I've been listening to a recorded by BBC all of her books while I'm stitching this, and then sometimes I put in a movie too. So love it, love it. And I'll pick her up probably later on in the month. So that's another thing. Also, I started a new thing. It was my 40th, I believe, start. So I'm doing this Lilith by Heaven Earth Designs, and you can see artwork by Chris Ortega. And I don't know, it's just her face just keeps drawing me in, and yep. So I did just tiny bit, and I'm doing it on the 40 count, and this is silk weaver. So that's all I've done. I tried to mark it. I'm doing debated to do over 1 or like 10 stitch, so I'm working with the 10 stitch, and I think I might stick with it. What do you think? Is that good coverage? I know you're not supposed to look up close to all those designs with Heaven and Earth, but like a picture, and I think it does pretty good coverage, especially with the dark thread that they say, you know, it's thinner, you can see it through. So yeah, I started at the very top corner right here. So that was my last 40th start of my work. So what else I've done? I did 2 finishes. So one was the start and a finish, and very last one in my grouping, so you'll probably recognize it, and it's a December free pattern, free chart, monthly chart. So I've changed some of the colors, and I think that's the dog's hair from one. My sister-in-law brought a dog. So I've done some mixing of colors, some gentle arts, some weeks dye works, and this is, if you remember, this fabric is just printed on one side, and I now have a whole collection, and it will be time to work it how I want to fully finish it, flat fold or mini pillows. I still can't decide. What do you guys think? How would you FFO it, each of these little thingies? I mean, they're about palm size. Yep. So I'm very happy I had it in time and before Christmas to finish it. So this is it. And another one, a finished project. It's this pattern, Freya cross stitch, a house of mushrooms, and I thought that might be way too bright of the color of the roof, which is the mushroom, but actually it's not as bad as I thought it might be. And this is it. So this is 14 count, just a regular fabric that was included in a kit, so I stuck with it, decided to try out. And last thing I did, I think, was finishing up a little bit of the dirt, back stitching, and then rooftop and spots in here. So it really pops out all that back stitching, which was painful to do, by the way. If you would stitch something like this, I would recommend maybe changing the fabric, unless you want to challenge yourself, because you have to put the needle in the middle of the X, or like in the side of the X, halfway in. So there was lots of that, but I think the pain was worth it, and it was a lot of backstitch. I would not recommend like doing the whole thing, stitching and then doing back stitching, because it's a lot, as you can see. And those stalks, yep, every leaf, that was not easy to count, but I think I did exactly as it was said. And I even put my little initials here. So that was my last finish of the year. All those 40 new starts and whips, I'm gonna show in a separate video. I have to gather up all together to put it in one place, because some of them I finished actually and FFO'd and gave away, and some I just barely started. So that was it for my month of December, and I hope you guys have a great time and do lots of stitching, crafting, and creating all the beautiful things. So till next time, this was Jurgita saying bye-bye. Ate.